than that, as senators began motioning to add other bills onto the session agenda. Senator Tello Taitagui objected because she was under the impression a session was called to solely discuss Bill 181. Instead, lawmakers added a measure by Senator Kelly Marsh related to FESPAC onto the agenda. The addition of the measure was not only objected by Taitagui, but Vice Speaker Talina Nelson said there were other more important concerns from the community, such as measures related to public safety. She was shut down by the Speaker. When they finally got to Bill 181, a substituted version was introduced and added to the agenda, followed by another motion.
Senator San Agustin, you are recognized.
Madam Speaker, I move to place Bill number 181-35 CR as substitute on the floor on the third reading file.
On that motion, are there any objections? There is an objection. All those in favor of Bill 181-35 CR to be placed on the third reading file, please signify by raising your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On the
Madam
vote, there's a
Speaker,
motion.
are you voting to put this in the third reading without any discussion
There is
and
a
without
motion.
any committee of the whole?
There is a motion
Point of
to
order
place
then, Madam
this
Speaker,
bill.
because we should
Senator,
automatically
you are out of order.
convene into the committee of the whole, Madam Speaker, to discuss
You are
this
out
bill.
of order, Senator Terlahi. There is a motion on the floor. It's not debatable. There was an objection. Please signify by raising your hand at this time. Please signify to put Bill 181-35 on third reading file. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Motion carries.
The substitute version of Bill 181 was moved to the third reading file with a vote of 8. Senators went into recess and will return at 2 o'clock Thursday afternoon. Important to note, the substitute version of Bill 181 lifts the cap for the awarding of local war claims. Well, it looks like Puerto Rico will be standing up to Uncle Sam's cockfighting ban. National media reports say the territory will defy the federal cockfighting ban and that a bill would allow cockfighting in Puerto Rico as long as people don't import or export cocks or any goods related to cockfighting. The measure awaits Puerto Rico Governor Wanda Vazquez's signature. According to media reports, she's expected to sign the bill before Friday. Officials were also quoted as saying they expect the feds to challenge the bill in court. Cockfighting generates an estimated $18 million a year and employs some 27,000 people in Puerto Rico. That's according to media reports. Meanwhile, Governor Lilian Guerrero said when it comes to any chance Guam could be left out of the bird fighting ban, she is pegging her hopes on Guam delegate Michael San Nicolas.
It may not be a law that we like, and it's not a law that we had input and feedback on. And I'm hoping that the congressman would work towards maybe having us being exempted out here.
The CNMI House and Senate released a joint resolution in September asking NMI Delegate Kilili Sublan to introduce legislation exempting the Northern Marianas from the ban. Meanwhile, the governor's advice to local cockfighters about that ban: follow the law. A murder suspect is still at large as the family of Juan Ugan, the man gunned down in Manila last week, struggles to make sense of this tragedy. Here's more. A week ago, Irvin Ugan Mofnis was taking out the trash. It was around 2 in the morning. He says he was putting out the trash early because it was collection day.
I heard the gunshot and then I froze and waited, Then I slowly crept forward because the retaining wall was blocking, so I couldn't see anything. But I heard a moped, I heard like a scooter. It kept going around. This was even prior to the gunshot.
Mofnis said that's when he saw his pari, Juan Ugan.
It was too late, when I looked out, he was already on the ground and the guy was taken off. I didn't see anything, only the back end of the scooter. It's dark in that area. She's gone already. That was to me, it looked like a kill shot.
Mofnis said his first instinct to call for help.
It was blood. He was on his back, facing up like this, and I didn't really even notice. I was in shock. Blood or no blood, I just didn't. The only thing was get that ambulance here as quick as possible, and hopefully I'm wrong, and they can save him and stuff. But yeah, it just didn't work out that way.
Uggan's family now in mourning. He was a father of 3 sons. Juan's sister, Sonia Uggan, posted an emotional video on Facebook with pictures of Juan, his sons, and the family. Please remember my brother for his big heart, the chef he was, and the kind person who greets you. We release all the negative and heinous acts and bring in all the love. We all know redemption will come, the post reads. Juan Uggan was 41 years old. Mofna said he grew up with Juan. He lives in the house next door, and the two of them would talk every day. He tells us his pari was a good man.
Fantastic father. Very good pari, man. He big heart. He had a big heart. All he wanted to do was just take care of his kids and live his life, you know. For a person to be shot in front of their house, in the back, like he didn't know what was going on.
If you have any information about this murder in Manilao, please call the Guam Police Department at 472-8911 or leave a tip at guam.crimestoppers.web.com. As we speak, a town hall meeting on public safety is being held in Mongmong Totu Maiti. It's where one couple plans to voice their concerns after their car was stolen in broad daylight.
It was on Tuesday when Peter Alexis Atta and his wife May went to do some yard work at their Mongmong home. They were there for a couple of hours, but when they were done, Atta says he went to his car, turned it around, and went back to the house to call his wife.
Let's say maybe 2-3 minutes, and then all of a sudden, we're ready heading out, and I said, "Hey, where's the car?"
The car gone within a matter of minutes. His wife's purse, medical papers, and a brand new lawnmower they just used also gone. But there was also something else, even more special, a statue of Our Lady of Fatima.
It bothered me so much because we used that statue for our dawn rosary on Wednesdays, and today's Wednesday, so we didn't have her. And every Sunday, we go around different homes in Barrigada and place the statue. We pray the rosary, and it means so much to me.
Atta reported the crime to the Guam Police Department.
I did call the police department and asked them, and I said, "Hey, listen, how much of a priority is this?" You know, and I said, "Well, compared to a murder, there is it will play a back seat." I said, "Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But there was no murder yesterday and no murder today." I think the policeman was trying just to be courteous, but he's also feeling it himself that they need help.
Help, he says, is also needed for whoever stole his car.
Take a look at the back seat of that car. There's a statue there, folding her hands, praying. Maybe that prayer is for you.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Sabrina Salas, Matanani.
More information about that video that was circulating on social media about a bust going down at the Guam main facility in Barrigada on Tuesday. Richard Gapasin Jr. appeared in the District Court of Guam this afternoon facing drug charges. Now, according to the federal complaint, earlier this week, law enforcement got wind about a package containing meth and addressed to Gapasin. They replaced the contents with sham. After Gapasin picked up the package, a bust was made in the parking lot. Now, during the interview with law enforcement authorities, he admitted to knowing meth was inside and also admitted that this was the second package he picked up with meth inside. The first one he picked up a couple months ago and contained 3 pounds of ice. The second package contained about 1,355 grams of methamphetamine. Both packages were sent by an individual named Danny Barcinas in Marina, California. In court today, the defendant made an initial appearance before Magistrates Judge Joaquim Manabusan. A pretrial service report recommended the defendant be released from custody. However, the government objected, with U.S. Assistant Attorney Stephen Leon Guerrero arguing the defendant is a flight risk and danger to the community. He said the charges are very serious as the defendant attempted to possess 3 pounds of meth and faces major time for this offense. Gapasin was represented by court-appointed federal public defender attorney Brianna Kotke, who concurred with the pretrial release, saying if the court finds otherwise, then they request for a detention hearing. Judge Manabusan ordered the defendant be detained and scheduled a detention hearing for December 30th and a preliminary hearing to follow on December 31st. Trial's been set for March 11 for drug defendant Leighton Borja. Appearing in Judge Anita Socola's courtroom, the defendant's attorney, Charles McDonald, told the court they are waiting for the remaining discovery of officer notes and that he's in communication with the prosecution for this evidence. McDonald also asked Judge Socola for a special request, stating since his client has been complying with all the release conditions that include checking in with probation 5 times weekly and testing negative, would he be allowed to attend a final legal cockfight before it's federally banned on December 20th? Judge Socola replied instantly with a no. In Superior Court, defendant Jobert Carlos was allegedly sucker punched by a Guam Police Department officer in a viral video appeared for his arraignment before Judge Jonathan Kwan. Before taking his plea, Judge Kwan told defense counsel Bill Bischoff that the Guam Behavioral Wellness Center has issued an initial assessment, and following, the defendant waived his reading of the indictment and pled not guilty by reason of mental disease. The court ordered a forensic evaluation to determine how to move forward, and the court asserted the right to speedy trial with time pending the completion of the evaluation. The defendant was indicted for criminal mischief as a third-degree felony, assault as a misdemeanor, and disorderly conduct as a petty misdemeanor. Carlos's next court hearing was scheduled for December 26th with Judge Arthur Barcinas. Well, stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
Half the day, I'm in the club.
Half a day, welcome to Two Lovers Point.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
Matson is in this community. We've been in this community for decades. We're gonna be in this community for decades to come. Things will get busy, things will get quiet, but we're gonna be here. We're your hometown carrier. And that matters to us.
Reliability is the core of our business. We take pride in ensuring that we arrive in Guam on time as scheduled.
It's our local employees who understand the market, who understand the business, and provide that hard work for you each and every day.
When we hold ourselves to high standards, our customers also hold us to high standards. We establish good business relationships that turn into friendships. That's why it's so important to be here and be trusted by your customers. We want you to trust Matson like your friend, like your family.
Into an extra day. Receive 6% off your fuel purchase when you use your eligible Bank of Guam credit card at participating Shell locations. Terms and conditions apply. Bank of Guam, the People's Bank, member FDIC.
Normal should never be abandoned, abused, neglected. 265 foster children on Guam have longed for family, clothes, and food. See their faces, hear their stories, be a foster family, and bring them home, where faith, love, and stability will change their lives. Please support the magic of giving this Christmas.
It's a special delivery to your inbox every week with your KUAM News Roundup, program advisories, and promotions. Sign up for the weekly KUAM Digital Digest today on KUAM.com.
Welcome back. Legislation is in the works to prevent what's happening in the village of Jotnya from happening in the future in other villages. Sabrina Salas-Matanani has more in this report.
No mayor present and no municipal council. During Wednesday morning's Mayor's Council of Guam meeting, Republican Senator James Moylan presented a draft bill he's been working on.
The prompt for the draft of this bill was our situation with Georgia Mayor and the lack of a municipal planning committee in the village. Then that's why the village has no mayor at the present time. So we saw some loopholes in the existing law, and we discussed with a couple of the mayors, and we figured let's just add one more tier to this. So if there is no municipal planning council, what are they going to do next?
In September, Jotnya Mayor Jesse Bloss was indicted by a federal grand jury. He's accused of extortion and accepting bribes from a confidential informant to smuggle in drugs through U.S. Postal Service cluster boxes in his village. He's been locked up at the Hagatnya detention facility awaiting trial in February. His staff is running the office in his absence, and despite the law mandating each village have a municipal planning council, Jotnya doesn't have one.
This is an isolated case,
right,
where there was none that existed.
Although Bloss isn't able to officially perform his duties, Guam law currently doesn't allow for a special election unless a vacancy occurs on or before 240 days before the general election. Additionally, a vacancy is only considered for reasons such as if an elected official resigns, deemed mentally incompetent, or death. The law does not cover what happens if an official is detained while awaiting trial. According to Senator Moylan's draft bill, if there's no MPC like in Jotnya, then the Mayor's Council would be able to fill the vacancy. PD Mayor Jesse Alec, however, suggested otherwise.
I don't believe the Mayor's Council should select a mayor. I think that we should probably look at making sure and ensuring the mayor appoints an NPC. I think there needs to be some kind of, instead of using that, because I just don't think it's fair for my colleagues to select a PD mayor. I think that it makes more sense that an NPC does.
It would just be a fallback as well.
Well, I don't think I would want it included, because
Okay.
I wouldn't want another mayor selecting a village mayor. I think it should be completely removed from the bill, the proposed bill.
Okay.
That's my suggestion.
Okay, I agree.
I agree.
I agree. I hear you.
The bill isn't a done deal.
Right now it's a draft, and then as we finalize it, we'll bring it back to them for one more look, and then we'll introduce it.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Sabrina Salas-Matanani.
The stateside-based law firm of Kirkland and Ellis will now be helping local attorney Mike Phillips in the Supreme Court appeal of the Dave Davis case. This word from the governor, who tells KUAM the firm will offer its services pro bono or free of charge.
There's firms out there that are looking at this because this is a major, I think, piece of law that's going to be argued.
As you may recall, attorney Mike Phillips' motion asking for an extension was granted, and the next motion Guam will file in the Davis case is an argument convincing the Supreme Court to hear our case.
We are going to be submitting on time our arguments about requesting to be heard in the Supreme Court. And if we become, if the decision is favorable, then we will move forward with preparing again for our arguments when we do get heard.
Attorney Phillips successfully argued that conflicts exist between the 6th and 9th Circuit courts with regard to their interpretation of the 15th Amendment. His motion seeking an extension was granted by Supreme Court Justice Elena Kagan. District Court Chief Judge Francis Tedinko Gatewood ruled against Guam in the Davis case, saying Davis's constitutional voting rights were violated when he was denied registration in the native inhabitant plebiscite meant to choose a political status option for Guam's decolonization. Well, the House has passed a spending bill that increases Medicaid funding to Guam to $127 million annually for 2 years. It also increases the federal medical assistance percentage to Guam to 83%. Governor Lulian Guerrero joined governors from other U.S. territories in thanking the House for the passing of the measure. The measure now heads to the Senate and then to President Trump, where he's likely to sign it into law. Well, Santa's Toy Shop's doors are officially open as of this morning. It's the U.S. Marines in partnership with the Salvation Army's Toys for Tots initiative. On Monday, volunteers came to the grounds of the Salvation Army headquarters in Tijan to help set up the gift room. Then, as of this morning, the clients were able to start their present hunting. According to Salvation Army Micronesia Coordinator Major Tom Stambaugh, about 300 families or about 1,200 kids will benefit this year with new toys.
Just watching the clients walk out with these big bags of toys and walk out with their box of food, it just brings it all to the conclusion of Christmas, and so that on Christmas morning next week there'll be a lot of happy children on Guam that will have a nice Christmas because of the work of the Salvation Army and our partners putting on these donations.
Clients also leave the distribution center with a 20-pound food box for a holiday meal. The service ends on Friday. Well, more than 240 graduates are expected to receive their degrees on Sunday, December 22nd at the University of Guam's Fanatsonan 2019 commencement ceremony starting at 2 p.m. in the Calvo Fieldhouse. Delivering the commencement address is Anne-Marie T. Munya, a licensed independent insurance broker and general manager for AM Insurance. Munya graduated with top honors from UOG in 1983, earning her bachelor's as a double major in management and business administration. UOG President Tomas W. Christ said Anne-Marie's success story is one that many UOG students can relate and aspire to. The commencement ceremony will be streamed live on UOG's Facebook page. Well, coming up, Andy Willard sits down with Elsa Ujoa from Guam basketball.
Make every day a plus.
This holiday season, take a deal home at the Big Finish 2019 only at Cars Plus. Finish the year with the perfect gift under your Christmas tree. Take advantage of employee pricing on new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Visit us at carsplusguam.com.
Morning, 2 coffees and 4 orders of those new donut sticks.
You must really love these donut sticks.
I do, but they're not for me. They're for them. I will take a coffee, though.
Introducing new cinnamon sugar donut sticks from McCafe. Made fresh every morning. It's a little sweet to go with your coffee.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J. All right, welcome to sports. Tonight we're going to be talking basketball, more specifically GuamBasketball.com. A lot of things going on. Elsa, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so let's talk about GuamBasketball.com. You guys have you have a full plate this holiday season.
Yes, I do.
And there's something going on right now, and then we are leading right into something for the kids that's coming up. So holiday tip-off is happening now. Let's talk about it.
Yes, it is. It's an adult league that goes on during the holidays. And it usually lasts for 10 days, but because the number of teams have increased, what's happened is we've had to extend it for another week.
Which is a good problem to have.
Yeah.
It makes things a little bit busier for you, but we were talking before we came on that getting that response, you think, okay, usually 10 teams, all right, we'll cap it there, but when you get a huge response like, hey, the more the merrier, adults want to get out and stay active.
Yes, they do. And the nice part about it is if it's adults, they bring their family, they're in the gym, and most of them are there pretty much all day. Just playing. There's so many games. The games are an hour each, so every hour, by the hour, there is a game being played.
There's always a game going on.
Yes, there is.
A lot of corporate business teams, is that what we're looking at?
A lot of them are club teams and business teams. It's a combination of both, but it's nice to see all of them out there on the court, because what they do is they get their exercise in, they're staying physically fit. Yep. Especially during the holidays. We talked about that.
During the holidays,
yeah.
Yep.
And what happens is they go through a round-robin format, and after that they go into a double elimination playoffs.
Okay.
So the playoffs take place right after Christmas, And then the championship game is on January 4th.
All right, so we still don't know who's going to be in the championship
No,
game. Pretty good competition over there?
Yes, I can't even believe how emotional they get on the court. It's really funny because it's really just a game, but they're so competitive that they do get emotional.
They're treating it like in the NBA Finals.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
So once that wraps up and you crown your champion, then you're moving on to something that's for the kids, which is also something during the winter break that parents really need to get their kids invested in.
Yeah, right. Starting on Monday, we have our holiday camp, which we have had for the last 16 years. And what happens is we have kids from the ages of 6 to 14 participate. And it's a weekly session. It's in the mornings from 9 to 12. So what happens is Tumaning Gym becomes a very busy gym because in the mornings we have camp and then at nights we have tournament games. So we're basically there, or I'm basically there all day.
Yeah, so you might as well pay rent there, you know, just
yeah.
So kids that want to sign up, where can they go?
They can just go to the website, guambasketball.com, and they can download the registration form, fill it out, and bring it to the gym on Monday to register their kids. A lot of parents have registered early. I usually get around 25 to 30 kids a week. And so one of the focus is to keep them exercising instead of at home on their iPads or their phones. And parents want them to get out of that routine.
For sure, you've got to balance all that stuff out with some physical activity. And you think is there a requirement for previous basketball knowledge?
No, not at all, not at all. In the camps, what we do is we work with fundamentals, team building skills, and the rules of the game, because that's important for them to learn the sport. So they get all of that within the week. And at the end of the week, I usually, by then they're ready to start having an organized scrimmage game to apply everything that they've learned throughout the week. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And kids, you got to get out there and sign up. Space is limited?
Yes, the max I can take is 30.
Okay, so sign up today.
Yes, they can register early and they can go online, guambasketball.com.
But you do have events coming up later on through the year, so if they miss this one, it's not like that's it.
No, the next camp will be at spring break, and every school break we have a camp at the gym just to keep them off the streets and to get them in the gym.
Keep them active.
Yeah, that's exactly what we want. That's the goal, is to keep them active.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
No problem. Thanks.
All right. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Guys, go to guambasketball.com. Learn about the clinic, also the holiday tip-off that is going on until they crown their champion. And that's it for sports.